Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started. This edition of The Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift of Grandma's recipes, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. And it's also time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mian Mohsen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia has garnered great reviews and even been endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mian Mohsen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembrance is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at your wedding, and even more so the years. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs, huh? Well, the holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry at the same time? Wherever you get the Grandma's memories, or just because, those smiles and tears will just melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. And don't forget to check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast on over 30 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise on the MikeWagnerShow.com. Also, check out me and Mohsen Zia's great book of merchandise at Amazon.com/me and Mohsen Zia, and also support us on Anchor FM as well as PayPal. And don't forget to donate to the MikeWagnerShow.com, and make sure you do generous today. And if you're wondering why I'm doing things a little different, we have a lady here who is the inventor of the NOMPI gloves. We're going to find out what that is. And she's the inventor, and this is a very wonderful gardening tool. It's work gloves with a sleeve. And she created this after she contracted poison ivy, and after tending to her garden. I mean, this is the time to tend gardens and everything. And these gloves are very special. And she's also a member of the NABO Association, Northern New Jersey. She's going to talk about that, and also self-published author of 10 children's books, and got the green thumb for it. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful somewhere in New Jersey, the very multi-talented, and we're going to give a big 10-finger salute to Lynne Eichenbaum, the inventor of the NOMPI gloves. Lynne, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us. I mean, this is like the best invention since sliced bread. I mean, it's not Betty White, by the way.
Oh, Mike, that is so sweet. Thank you. First of all, thank you so much for having me on. And thank you also for donning my fabulous gloves.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. These are actually my wife's gloves too, but we do share. I mean, that's what married things. So it's like you work, and I'm working on some gardening right now as we speak too. So like I got to tend to this and tend to that, and get rid of these flies and get rid of this and everything else, and get rid of the bugs that's going on. So, and of course, you're also the inventor of the NOMPI gloves, and also the gardening work gloves, and with a sleeve. And they're not just gloves. They come in all kinds of shapes and colors. And you created this after you had an incident. And before we get into all that, tell us how you first got started, Lynne.
Okay, well, I'll tell you about how I pretty much got started sewing. I'm sort of a self-taught seamstress, and my kids were really into competitive Irish dance. They did, kind of like the river dance. So they did a lot of Irish dancing here in New Jersey, and at the Lynn Academy of Irish Dance. And one day the teacher came up to me, I don't know why me, but she came up to me and said, "Lynne, we need a seamstress. Do you think you could, you look like the kind of person that maybe could sew. Do you think maybe you could be a seamstress and alter all our costumes?" So I'm the sort of person who says yes first and then tries to figure out how to do it afterwards.
Oh my God.
So I said, sure, why not? I can do that. And then I went home and sort of slumped down in my chair and opened up my laptop and figured out, opened up all sorts of YouTube videos to try to teach myself how to sew and how to alter dresses. I bought myself a really nice machine, a baby lock sewing machine.
Oh.
And they're lovely with self-cutting thread. It's incredible. Instead of those old-fashioned singers that used to flip over from the...
Oh, yeah, the classic singer. I still remember those from the 1800s, like that really big wheel, that thick needle, and like chung, 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 or just...
Yes.
I remember that, yeah. And of course, but they're so quiet, too. That's why I went like this. It's like they hardly made any noise back in the day.
That is very true. And actually, we still have one at my parents' house in Albany, New York.
Oh, my God.
So, which is very funny. But so I taught myself how to sew, and I started altering the costumes. And so my skills at sewing started getting pretty good. And I am a big vegetable gardener. I live in New Jersey. Yeah, I live in New Jersey, which truly earns its name the Garden State.
Oh, I see.
Yes, the weather is perfect for growing. It's hot, it's humid, but not too humid. The growing season is really with lettuce from the beginning of April all the way through November. It's really fantastic. Much better than Albany, New York, where I grew up.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. I know. It snows through the middle of April, and then it begins snowing sometime around October. I remember going trick-or-treating in winter jackets.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's very funny.
That was something too. You talk about gardening as well too, with being one of your passions. What are some of your favorite things to garden? What are your favorite, flowers, vegetables, and plants and everything? What are some of your favorites?
Absolutely. Well, I'm not a very good flower gardener. My motto sort of is, if you can't eat it, don't grow it because I have a green thumb when it comes to all things vegetables, but I don't do very well with flowers, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
yeah, for some reason, I have a vegetable green thumb, and which is good because I love vegetables. So I grow tomatoes, I grow zucchini, peppers, eggplant. We grow cucumbers. Usually the cucumbers just burst. They're beautiful. They get so big. Beans, basil, or pretty much you name it, almost every vegetable under the sun. I have about 9 raised beds in my backyard, 3x3 beds, which I built myself. And we have triple fences to keep out the New Jersey wildlife, the deer, the groundhogs, the bunnies, the mice. I mean, it's really crazy, but I just love it. It's so much fun.
I thought you keep out the obnoxious New Yorkers who try to steal your veggies and whatever else just for themselves.
Well, that too. So we actually did put a fence up in our yard about 3 years ago when we put in a small pool in the back. Oh, wow. So that has definitely helped keep the deer out, which is very good.
And what are some of your favorite veggies that you like growing? What are some of your favorite veggies to eat?
Oh, definitely the tomatoes. As a matter of fact, last night I just made this amazing tomato shallot, sort of a tomato shallot reduction that goes on top of chicken or fish. It was so good, Mike. Oh my gosh. And with the fresh cherry tomatoes that we grow in our yard, oh my gosh, it's just decadent. It's so good.
Oh, you're making me so hungry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. It's okay. I mean, it's good to keep me hungry, just hungry for whatever. So
there you go. There you go.
And of course, what are some other favorites besides tomatoes?
Well, the zucchini are terrific. I love growing. We had baseball bat size zucchini at the beginning of the season. And then we usually every year we get some sort of insect problem that gets itself into the garden. And this year we had vine boring caterpillars. And they tend to crawl down the stems and they try to bore into the stems of the zucchini plant. And then unfortunately they start, taking all the nutrients out of the plant and the zucchini start to die. So every year, and this year in particular, I get in there with a small knife and you actually have to make a slit into the stem, extract the caterpillars, and then pack the stem back up with dirt and water it well. And hopefully I've saved the plants. They're starting to get new growth, which is great. But it's all the things you learn when you just start to garden. It's really fascinating.
It does sound fascinating. And of course, besides the tomatoes and the zucchinis, what are some of the more challenging vegetables that you grew, and how'd you manage to manage to overcome?
Yeah, I would say probably I tried corn one year and corn was really tough.
Really?
Yeah. If you don't have a good amount of pollinators, you actually have to self-pollinate the plants. So you have to take a paintbrush. And what I did on all the flowers was take a paintbrush and paint one and move the pollen to the other flower. And I had to do that for about a week. And I wound up with about 3 ears of corn, and they were tiny and misshapen and very weird looking.
Oh my goodness. Ooh.
So I haven't tried that again. And they also took up a lot of space in the garden. But, as you know, when you're gardening, when you're weeding, your arms, because I'm always reaching into the plants to pick the tomatoes, to pick the zucchini, my arms, I have very sensitive skin, and they would get so scratched up and itchy. And, with tomato plants, especially, they've got, you can be very sensitive to the leaves because they have a similar oil on it to poison ivy, although it's not as toxic to your skin, but it can definitely give you a reaction. And I'm one of those people that gets a reaction from tomato plants, zucchini plants.
Wow, that is something. And we'll talk more about, gardening, some tips and everything else, and about the NOMPI gloves. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Molson Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss grandma's meatballs, huh? That's amazing. The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift for remembrance that makes you laugh and cry at the same time? Whatever gift the grandma's recipes or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at Picture This Photo Books at 646-798-0809. That's 646-798-0809. Or visit picturethishphotobooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. The whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you. Don't forget to take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and also check us out on over 30 podcast platforms. And make sure you check out the Mike Wagner Show merchandise at themikewagnershow.com. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, hoodies, tote bags, and more. And also great books by me and Molson Zia and more merchandise. Amazon.com/me and Molson Zia. And make sure you donate to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. And also support us on Anchor FM/support and PayPal at Mike Wagner Voiceover. And make sure you do so today. We're here with the inventor and gardener extraordinaire Lynne Eichenbaum here on the Mike Wagner Show, and also a wonderful seamstress as well too. And let's talk about the inventor of you being the NOMPI gloves, and tell us about that. And first of all, what does NOMPI stand for?
Okay, Mike, that is an excellent question. NOMPI stands for No More Poison Ivy. It's my clever little
poison ivy. Ah,
yes,
I see. Oh.
NOMPI. It's my clever little acronym.
Wow, I didn't know that. Here I was getting poison ivy the whole time. And it's like, how do I cure that? And yes, you NOMPI it. Yes.
Yes, exactly. You couldn't have said it better. So my concept was, gardening gloves typically end at the wrist. Mm-hmm. And people, when they go out and do yard work, they don't tend in the summer to change into a hot long sleeve shirt. You're wearing short sleeves, right? Or you're wearing sleeveless, and your arms are totally unprotected. So your hands are fine because they're wearing your nitrile gloves like you're wearing right now. But anywhere from your wrist up to your bicep is completely exposed to the elements, to sun, to dirt, to ticks, to poison ivy, to thistle, to stinging nettles, to everything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my concept was, I'll just take you back. I got out of my car one day and I saw 3 sprigs of something growing in my rock bed. So I walked over, I picked them, I threw them out with, my little wrist length gloves. And then 24 hours later, I had a case of poison ivy all up my arm.
Ooh-wee.
Yes. And I said, this is ridiculous. I envisioned in my head a glove sleeve combination, which is more like an article of clothing. Mm-hmm. So instead of the sleeve coming down from your shirt, it was just a glove with a sleeve that exactly like you have there, with a nice, comfortable elastic band that would go over your bicep and rest comfortably. So you could pick your weeds, you could gather that desert grass, you could pull the poison ivy, and not only are your arms protected, but your hands, your arms are protected as well. And then my idea also was that it needed to be 100% machine washable.
Oh, yes, that's important. That's right. And of course, you picked about the nitrile for your gloves, 100% cotton, and explain the in logical terms. It's like why nitrile gloves are important, especially 100% cotton. Some people go like polyester or say like a latex or anything like that.
Right. Okay. So the nitrile glove is a knit back. You can see that on yours. It's a nice knit back, so it's comfortable. And the nitrile dip is thorn protective. It's thorn resistant, puncture resistant, and water resistant. And most importantly, when you're pulling poison ivy, you've got oil on the plant called urushiol. And the
wow.
urushiol, if you're wearing just a plain cotton glove, the urushiol can actually soak through the glove if you're heavy duty pulling vines, and you can wind up with poison ivy on your hands. So I listen when, when fellow gardeners talk to me. And when I started inventing the gloves, I actually, to be honest, originally had just a cotton poly glove. And gardeners had come up to me and said, Lynne, we love your concept of the glove sleeve combination. It's fabulous. It's fantastic. It's functional. It's whimsical, but we would love a nitrile glove because they are definitely more durable. So I started using the nitrile glove in my product line, and I have to tell you, it's amazing. The response I've gotten has been phenomenal.
That is phenomenal as well, too. And of course, as you see in the background, it comes in many patterns as well, too. And can they also be custom orders as well, too?
Yes, I can do custom orders, but I have so many beautiful patterns and fabrics. I use 100% cotton for my sleeves, so they're very, very lightweight and breathable. Mm-hmm. And what I wanted was just a very, very comfortable glove that you could slide on and slide off, that was easily washable. You just throw it right in, and that was pretty much just the concept. And it's really just gardeners from all over have emailed me, have come up to me at shows and just thanked me. It's kind of like that light bulb. They're like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense. I can't believe I didn't think of it.
And of course, makes great Christmas gifts and everything year round, 24/7. And it's also part of the Northern New Jersey conference that you've been in as well too. That's been a big hit. You've been a member since like 20.
Yes. And as a matter of fact, I brought the gloves. The first big show I brought the gloves to was the Philadelphia Flower and Garden Show back last year, right before the pandemic hit. Wow. And yeah, it was amazing. And they did so well. And I had master gardeners and landscapers and people from all over the Northeast come over and just be amazed with the product. And I brought them again to the Philadelphia Flower and Garden Show this year. They actually moved it to FDR Park in Philly so that it could be outdoors because of the pandemic requirements. They really didn't want to take a chance scheduling it at the convention center. So they had it in this just magical garden setting, and it was so beautiful. And I actually had repeat customers come up to me and, since we're all vaccinated, hug me and say,
hug me. Yes, the gloves are safe. Yes. Hug me.
Exactly. And they're like, oh my gosh, Lynne, your gloves are so amazing. And they came back and bought a second pair, or they came back and bought a pair for a friend. And I wound up selling about 750 pairs in 9 days.
750? What was it, like the first week or first month, or was it just that one visit?
It was 9 days of pure, wonderful gardening love.
Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. and how can people get more information about the NOMPI gloves, and where can they purchase them, and how do they order?
Definitely, Mike. Thank you so much for asking. So my website is nompigloves.com. It's No More Poison Ivy, the acronym NOMPI gloves.com. And I have them, all my styles, on my website. I have lady size 9, which is standard, one size fits most, but I am able to accommodate women or men with larger hands or smaller hands.
Oh, wow.
I have women's sizes and patterns. I have men's, I have kids. So NOMPI gloves is just, I have it patented also. I wanted to mention that. I have a design patent for gardening and for industrial. So I was very, very proud to get that. That came through last May. And they're great. So yeah, check them out. NOMPI gloves, NOMPI, No More Poison Ivy gloves.com.
We certainly will do so. And not only are you the inventor of the NOMPI gloves, you're also a self-published author of 10 children's books. We'll get to that bonus part in just 1 minute. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson's of Missing, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Also brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. We'll be back with the inventor of the NOMPI glove and self-published author Lynne Eichenbaum after this timeout. This edition of the Mike Wagner Show is brought to you by Picture This Photo Books, where remembering is the key ingredient. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. And who doesn't miss Grandma's meatballs? The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whatever gift of Grandma's recipes, or just because, those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809 or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 10% off your first order. Picture This Photo Books, bringing your memories back to life. They're whimsical, casual, or formal, and always uniquely you.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionsea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with the inventor of the NOMPI glove, Lynne Eichenbaum of the Mike Wagner Show. And not only she's the inventor of the NOMPI glove, she's also a self-published author of 10 children's books titled Remote Control Adventures. And tell us more about it.
Okay, so I actually started my career in network television. So I actually worked on The View when it first started in 1997. I was on the original directing team, and I worked in TV for a number of years. And then I decided to, I got married and decided to leave the television industry behind. I became a stay-at-home mom. And it's funny because my son, I have 3 children now, but my son, Zach, when he was 8 years old, he was a voracious reader. He absolutely loved reading, but he was very, what should we say? He was afraid of violence and of dark things in books. So a lot of the books like Harry Potter, I mean, he was ready to read all of them, but he was just a little too scared at the time. So he had read through all these book series and he said, Mom, I have nothing else to read. So I was, like I said, I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. So I said, okay, I'll write you a book series. Seriously, I've always been one of those people who someone gives me an idea or someone suggests something or an idea pops in my head and I just jump to do it. So I wrote a book series called Remote Control Adventures. And it's actually very funny, Mike, because I base it on, so there are 2 kids named Zach and Lana who are my actual children. And they find out that an evil television producer, we wonder why I said that, right?
Wearing the NOMPI gloves.
So an evil television producer has infiltrated TV land and he's using magic to steal show scripts and rewrite the ending so the bad guys win.
Sounds like today's social media.
Exactly. So Zach and Lana. So Zach and Lana have to use their magic remote control to zoom into the TV. They have to help the characters of the shows go on a quest to find the script so that they can rewrite the ending, setting things back the way they're supposed to be. So that was my idea for Remote Control Adventures. I wound up writing, self-publishing 10 books.
Wow.
Thank you. I started in 2012 and I did my last book in 2017, right before I had the idea for my No More Poison Ivy gloves.
Huh, you know something? I think that should have been like, a segue about the was it the Remote Control Adventures? It's like, where's my gloves? Or it's like the case of the evil poison ivy, and then here comes a glove just ready to save the day. So.
That would have been perfect. Actually, my book 5 is all about my garden. So Zach and Lana and their little brother Justin get shrunk down to Zeedle size. They're like these little creatures called Zeedles.
Oh my gosh.
And it's really cute. And they actually zoom into the TV and they wind up in this giant oversized garden filled with squash bugs, cucumber beetles, and just all sorts of evil bugs. And oh my gosh, Mike, that's my life.
It almost sounds like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, that sort of thing. It's like, honey, I got shrunk by these gloves and these beetles in a gardening. It's like, if I can still eat those and one little nibble, it's like nobody will notice.
Exactly. And had I invented the gloves before I wrote the book, you bet they would have all been wearing NOMPIs while they went into the adventure. Oh my gosh,
great way to fight out those bugs and everything else. And
oh yeah.
You also had some other books too, like Look Out Wild West, The Knights of Chandron, and Pirates of Blackberry Islands, Dinosaurs Beyond the Waterfall, and oh my gosh, it's like Fear at the Fair, Legend of the Lost Leprechaun, and it's like, whoo, list of books. Maybe just hit upon a few. I mean, guys, don't reach for remote control yet. Let her explain.
Well, I come up with the idea for my books generally by talking to my kids and seeing what they're interested in. So I'll give you an example. I knew my first book was going to be Wild West. When I was growing up in Albany, my dad and I used to watch all the Wild West shows. We used to watch Bonanza and Wild Wild West with, oh my gosh, Robert Conrad, I think his name was. Mm-hmm. And we loved all those shows. So the Wild West has always just been very dear to me.
Oh, so, yeah, that's a great show. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Remember? So I knew I was going to write my first book about the Wild West. My favorite type of books are fantasy and dinosaurs. I mean, dragons and witches and all of that. So my second book, it was definitely pretty obvious to me that I was going to write a fantasy, and I entitled it The Knights of Chandron, and I called it, so Chandron Castle, and dinosaurs and dragons are always very, very popular with kids. But it's very funny. My one book, Fear at the Fair, I had just written book 8. And it was a really, really good book. It was The 13th Floor. And it was one of my longest books. And there were a whole lot of intrigue, and the kids get trapped on the 13th floor and the producer zaps the elevator button and it disappears. So they can't get off the 13th floor. And it was such an incredibly passionate book for me to write, and exciting and long, that I was sort of out of ideas for book 9. I had no idea what to do. And my daughter and I were sitting folding laundry, and she must have been 7 or so. And I said, Lana, what should we make book 9? And she's like, Mom, you know what scares me the most? And I was like, what, Lana? She said, clowns.
Oh, no laughing matter. Oh my gosh. It's like, I guess it's kind of a common fear of clowns and all that. And I just simply laugh it off because, they're just clowning around there doing their job. So
I know, but if you've seen the movie It or any of those movies, it's so scary. And
oh my gosh. Yeah. I read about a lot about the movie. I had a guest on the show about it, and it's like, ooh, my gosh. It's like, makes you want to think more than a second about clowns. And I had friends who were actually professional clowns, believe it or not. So it's just like,
wow.
I mean, yes, it's like, clowns are fun at the circus, clowns everywhere. And it's like, I mean, it's just a very lucrative profession too. It's amazing.
It definitely is, but I felt so bad for this one particular clown. We were at the community pool, and this was again when my daughter was very young, and he must have been going to a birthday party because he was in the parking lot and he was just getting out of his car and getting his stuff together. And I brought my daughter out of the car and put her in the stroller, and we pushed her past the car, and she took one look at that clown and started shrieking.
Oh no.
I felt so bad for him. I waved and I said, really, it's okay. It's not you. I'm so sorry.
And he was just getting out of his car?
Yes, he was just getting out of his car, probably going to a birthday party. I know.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm at a loss on this one. It's like, I don't know what to say about it. It's like getting out of the car and then a kid goes and cries. It's like, the clown's thinking, hey, what have I done? I'm just getting out of the car.
I know, but after that story, and she reminded me of that story, I decided, you know what, I'm going to make book 9 about a fair, a state fair, because I always used to go to the Altamont Fair growing up in upstate New York with my parents, and I knew so much about it, and I like to write about things I have experienced or I know about. So we made that book about the state fair, which was the Altamont Fair, and we had clowns in it and the fun house and all sorts of intrigue, and it was great. It was a lot of fun to write.
That's so amazing as well too. And where can we find all your books at?
Oh, my books are still on Amazon. If you look up Remote Control Adventures by Lynne Silber, Silber is my maiden name, Silber, you will find them, and they really are such a fun read. They are wonderful, very addictive in a good way, and they're for ages 6 to 9.
That's very amazing. We're certainly looking forward to that. We're here with the inventor of the NOMPI gloves, Lynne Eichenbaum, here on the Mike Wagner Show, along with being an author. And just a few more things. We'd love to have back in 2021 and beyond, and some more gloves, more styles, more sizes. And if there's anything else you want to invent and bring on, feel free to do so. And what can we expect from you in the future, Lynne?
Oh, let's see. In the future, I'd love to expand the NOMPI line to include more apparel. So eventually, I think what we're going to do is, I know it sounds silly, but the NOMPI leg warmer, so that we can because people have
leg warmer. Oh my gosh, my wife's going to love you for it. Oh my
Yes, I have had people come up to me at flower and garden shows and say, okay, you've got the arms. Now, what about the legs? So I think we're probably going to expand into that. Certainly knee pads. I see the No More Poison Ivy line, the NOMPI line, NOMPI gloves, just absolutely just getting so big because it's such a novel concept. And Mike, I actually have a really interesting story about the patent and how I got the patent.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, I happen to have been in the hair salon, and this is right after I had made my first couple of pairs. And I told my hairdresser about them, and and she thought the idea was great because she and I have always traded garden stories. And the woman sitting next to me, also with her hair in crazy foils like mine, because I'll admit I'm 51 and I'm going gray, so I do get my hair highlighted. But she said, excuse me, I don't mean to eavesdrop, but that is an amazing idea. You need to patent it, and I will be your first customer. And she raised her arms, and she had poison ivy up and down her arms.
Oh my goodness.
So I just thought that was fascinating. So she and I spoke the rest of the time that we were there together about the patent process. And it was she who really made me start thinking about patenting it. And that's actually why I did. So I have a copyright on the name, and I have a patent, which was the best thing that I could have done.
Oh my gosh, that is so fascinating. It's just so amazing here. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
I would say my biggest influence in my career is probably my mom, because she was so dedicated to us, but also so dedicated to nursing, as she really tried to instill in us that we could do whatever we wanted to do as long as we set our mind to it. And just because we've done something all our lives is not necessarily what we're destined to do for the rest of our lives. So she always sort of encouraged me to think outside the box and to be creative. And she's always been such a wonderful inspiration to me. So I really do credit my mom.
Very inspiring as well, too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
The best advice I would give is be persistent and don't give up. and also to listen. Just because you come up with an idea doesn't mean it's necessarily the best idea and in its form. It can be molded, it can be shaped kind of like clay. So it's really important to listen to feedback and listen to what others say, and don't get insulted or offended if someone gives you a suggestion. Try to be open-minded and absorb it and see if maybe it's something that you want to incorporate. So I would say just have an open mind and listen, which is the most important thing.
I think it's very important as well, too. Once again, we're the inventor of the NOMPI gloves, Lynne Eichenbaum, and author of the Remote Control Adventures on the Mike Wagner Show. Lynne, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. These gloves still work and no poison ivy yet. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back in 2021. Don't forget to keep in touch. You've been terrific. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Or can people purchase or check out the NOMPI gloves and especially the books?
Mike, you're the best. Thank you so much. So the gloves are No More Poison Ivy Gloves, NOMPI gloves.com. You can find them on my website. I have all sorts of different patterns and styles. They are fabulous. The books are Remote Control Adventures, and those are on Amazon. They're available for download either on Kindle or as a hard copy. And Mike, you've been an amazing host. Thank you so much.
And thank you as well, too, Lynne. Once again, the inventor of the NOMPI glove and still terrific, Lynne Eichenbaum here on the Mike Wagner Show. Very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. These are amazing. Thank you, guys, and looking forward to having it soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back in 2021 beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. You guys have been absolutely terrific, and you guys as well. And don't forget to stay in touch. We wish you all the best. I'm looking forward to what you got.
Picture this photo books, where remembering is the key ingredient. Preserving memories, keeping the memories of your loved ones alive as they reach in and touch your heart. How beautiful your mother looked at her wedding, and even more so at yours. The holidays are coming. What better time to give a gift of remembrance that makes you laugh and cry all at the same time? Whether it's a gift of past holidays, grandma's recipes, long ago moments, or just because. Those smiles and tears will melt your heart. Call Karen Shaw at 646-798-0809. Once again, that's 646-798-0809. Or visit picturethisphotoBooks.com.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.